On August 24th, 1814, Anna Thornton arrived at Tudor Place, the Georgetown home of Thomas and Martha Peter. A good friend of the Peters, Anna wasn't there for her normal visits. Instead, she was seeking shelter. The British Army had gotten closer to the city of Washington. Earlier that morning, Anna had witnessed U.S. soldiers retreating across the city. Even the First Lady had fled the president's home. Anna retreated a mile or so up the hill to Georgetown. There, she sat in Martha Peters' bedroom, a room designed by Anna's own husband, the doctor and amateur architect, William Thornton. It was from Martha's bedroom window that the women witnessed a piece of American history, the burning of the U.S. Capitol. Now, whether the women saw smoke or fire, we do not know, but 2 miles down the hill, the British had set aflame the President's house, the U.S. Capitol building, and other strategic government buildings. On August 24th, Anna must have come to a shocking realization. She sat in one room that her husband had designed, slowly understanding that her husband's most significant design, the U.S. Capitol, might not be there in the morning. Visitors to Tudor Place hear this story on almost every tour or program. It helps people understand the everyday lives of people like Anna Thornton or Martha Peter during national events like the War of 1812. But 2 questions. How does Tudor Place know this story? And how would you know if this story we tell you were even true? First, you'd start with the secondary source, like this article from the House Historian's Office. A secondary source discusses an historical event using information collected elsewhere, and it's usually created after an event happens. Pay attention to the authors and see if information matches. This Architect of the Capitol article confirms what I just read from the House Historian's Office about the burning of the Capitol. But to really find out if all those details are true, you're going to need to find primary sources. A primary source was written around the time that an event happened, usually by a person who experienced the event. So here's where libraries and archives come in, like the Library of Congress. From the Library of Congress website, I could find Anna Thornton's papers. More importantly, her diary. Her diary gives historians the story about her traveling to Tudor Place and watching the burning of her, quote, undefended and devoted city. The more primary sources you can dig up, the stronger the claim that you have to your historical narrative. So here's a memoir from another friend of the Peters and the Thorntons, Eliza Quincy. She tells the same story. This digging for primary and secondary sources is what the curators, archivists, docents, and researchers at museums do every day. And for a short article about the War of 1812 written by a Tudor Place staff member, just look at how many sources the author has cited. So the next time you're on a tour and hear a story you love, see if you can find the source.